What is up, guys, and welcome to Monoposto. And today is the day when I am finally going to play the new updates. Now, there was a beta version of this update. As you can see, here is the 2022 grid in all its glory. As I was saying, there was a beta version of the update, and I very deliberately didn't play it because I wanted to save it until the game was released for real, so I could do a live reaction and like a first reaction to me playing the proper update after it had been released. So in terms of, we'll go over what's been released with this update in a minute, but basically here are the settings that I'm running. There's basically now a new graphics level setting, which is really interesting. However, I'm not going to run it higher than mid because otherwise it just lags my game like crazy. So these are settings that I'm going to be using just for now while I'm still getting used to the game, because I'll be honest, I haven't played this game since the last episode of Monoposto Driver Career Mode a month ago. Here's what the cars looked like then, and here's what they look like now. You can just see how much of an insane difference there is. As you can see, here's what has come with this update, but we didn't even ask for this update. Marco just decided to bring it upon himself, and this game is now crazily realistic. And we are going to put that theory to the test, as I'm going to play this new update for the very first time, and you are going to see my live reaction to it. Here are all the, effectively, the customization that I've done for the 2022 grid. And I've made the drivers deliberately quite slow because the 2022 cars are slower. By the way, Marco, take a bow. The customization that you've implemented with this new update is mwah. It is fabulous. And there you go. So for today's video, we're going to drive in the McLaren as Daniel Ricciardo, because he's somebody who needs a bit of luck in real life. And just while I'm still going to get used to the game, we're going to go to Baku because that's the next race. And also it's a circuit that allows for a decent amount of overtaking. So let's jump straight into it, and as you can see, look how insane these graphics are. So another thing we're gonna test is the difference, or the random lights out now. As you can see, you no longer have to hold the throttle pedal because you have to effectively lift off and then press it down again. So that was a very poor start from me. You can see I clearly haven't played this update before, but immediately, straight away, I can just see how much smoother the game runs. The cars look just crazily realistic, and with these new customizations, you can clearly see that all the liveries look so much more realistic. So Marco, honestly, a massive thank you from me. Something else that seems to have been improved with this update is the slipstream, even more than before. So we're going to test that once again. Here we are now trying to get past Mick Schumacher, the German in the Haas. We just seem to creep up so quickly to him. I don't know if I have good straight line speed because I'm racing on a lower difficulty, because Spark said you don't need to race on as high difficulty anymore because the AI seem to be improved. We now go wheel to wheel with Bottas, and we're catching up to the Aston Martin of Sebastian Vettel. That is the downside of racing on a lower AI difficulty, is the AI seem to be slower on the straight. However, we're already catching up to the Alpha Tauri of Yuki Tsunoda. We're going to go down the inside of the Japanese driver into turn 1. We've got a great scrap up ahead between Alonso, Norris, Magnussen and Gasly, and we're going to catch up to that. We're going to make it 3 wide, nearly 4 wide. This is brilliant. I've never seen racing like this in this game before. We're going to try and get past all of them round the outside here. No, I'm going to back out of that because I don't want to risk being put in the wall by the AI. If they're more aggressive, then it just feels like they're more likely to do something erratic and careless like that. Magnussen sends it down the inside. There also seems to be a little bit of porpoising with these cars with the slipstream. The VSC is now deployed, and that's why both Ferraris and Hamilton are in the wall. Wow, there's been a really controversial incident in the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Yes, I've just overtaken under VSC, so I'm going to need to give those places back. So I'm going to back off and let them all overtake me, whoever was in front of me. There goes Gasly, and I think we were ahead of Magnussen. So yeah, I'm just going to wait till the green flag gets back underway and we can go racing again. Stroll is now out of the race as well, further back. We've got a green flag again. I'm going to switch it back on Pierre Gasly, and we've got a great exit out of the chicane. We're going to go wheel to wheel with Alonso down the back straight. We might even look to catch Lando Norris napping as well. Here we go down the inside of our teammate. This is already for P5. We started from the back of the grid, and there we go. We've got the move done on our fellow McLaren driver, and now I'm going to pit at the end of lap 4 as the soft tyres are frankly rubbish still in this game. So here we go, this is my first pit stop with the new cars. It just looks amazing. The updated steering wheel, the new chassis, the new tyres. Oh, Marco, it's just fabulous. It's just absolutely fabulous. As we leave the pit exit, we're going to come out in P12. So I think there are still a couple of drivers, or most drivers in fact, who haven't pitted yet. So there we go. And Alonso was, well, we just managed to overtake him before we made our pit stop, so we are still ahead of him. So that's good news for me. We're now on lap 6. Ocon leads the Grand Prix for Alpine, so I don't know if he's not made a pit stop yet. And here we go. This is really going to test the slipstream. Look how we're gaining on George Russell. Down the back straight, the Mercedes driver has no answer. We just creep up to the back of him. Again, the fact that I'm running on only hard difficulty could mean that the AI are slower on the straight, and it is going to be much easier to catch them up. But it doesn't matter, we're going to use Slipstream to try and overtake the young Briton. In his first season with the Silver Arrows, George is defending superbly. By the way, it's really good to see the realistic, colour schemes and sponsors and the customizations to make it similar to the real cars. We're going to fly past the Silver Arrow on the pit straight, and we're now back into the top 5 with more cars in the pit lane. That's the fastest lap of the race for me. We're now onto the podium with only the 2 Red Bulls in front. Starting with defending world champion Max Verstappen. The Milton Keynes based team will be hoping to get a 1-2 today, but we're going to aim to spoil the party as we almost bang tyres with Verstappen down the pit straight. No love lost between the 2 former teammates of Red Bull Racing 2018 since they parted ways. However, we've left Verstappen behind, who actually pitted, and we're now racing after Sergio Perez, recent winner of the Monaco Grand Prix. On lap number 10, we're again gaining rapidly with the new slipstream. It's almost like I've got DRS, although we're not quite going to be able to go for the move as my hard tyres are rapidly wearing out. Again, the Racier AI means that they are better at defending, which is great to see. I just hope that they're not going to put me in the wall more as a result of that. However, it looks like Perez is pitting as well, so I'm actually going to back off and not go for a move into the pit lane. That could potentially again ruin my race. However, because it's only a couple of laps left, I'm going to fit a new set of soft tyres. It's not very often that you can do a strategy on this game with 2 sets of softs. Anyway, leaving the pit lane, and Perez is going to be still in front of me. However, are we ahead of Max Verstappen? Yes, we are, just about. Look at the mini-map. Interestingly, the dots for the drivers have now been replaced by the colours represented by their car. Shut up, phone. Yes, I'm not going to bleep that out. Anyway, well, we've got Perez, who's 1 second down the road. There's 2 laps to go. I think we can win this race. We can just keep it flat through the chicane. We're going to lift off a little bit here. Now we can dive straight into the slipstream of the Mexican. Here comes Daniel Ricciardo making a move for the Grand Prix. We're going to come out of the slipstream, and we're going to go down the inside of Checo, who has no response. And we now lead the Grand Prix for the first time with only a lap and a half remaining. It's been a brilliant drive, and I must say I've thoroughly enjoyed this today. And yeah, I pulled away. He left Red Bull, he went to Renault, he's come to McLaren. He's going to get the victory today. Daniel Ricciardo's weaving as he's going to win in Baku. I put the music on so you guys can hear it. A fastest lap on the last lap of the race, just like Monza. And we've won. What a brilliant drive. I thoroughly enjoyed that. And you guys can watch the remaining highlights from the race on screen now to see the others finishing, as Russell just about pips Bottas to the line. I'm just going to have a couple of very slight complaints about this update. They're not even complaints, they're just things that would make it better. I also noticed off camera when I was playing, I did a race in Saudi Arabia and in Bahrain, and it seems night races have disappeared. Marco, if you can, I'd really appreciate it if you can bring night races back. And another thing that I don't want changing, unless you absolutely feel it's necessary, I'm not a massive fan of the feature where it's just so deadly if you touch the grass. I think some of that just seems a little bit unrealistic, or I don't know if I just need to get better to be honest regarding that. But yeah, with that said, they are the only 2 problems I can find with this update. I did also suggest to Marco the idea to custom helmet colours for drivers. Obviously it's great if it's added in the future, but it's really not necessary. Get Marco to 10k if you want to see Monoposto on Android. Overall update rating, 9.5 out of 10. Obviously, the only flaws are night races are gone, and the fact that I probably just need to get better at Monoposto. Seeing as I haven't played it for a while, I'm just a little bit out of practice. I'm going to keep playing this update now, trying to find the ideal settings that I want. And stay tuned, because the next season of Driver Career Mode is just around the corner. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next video. Grazie, Marco.